Being real in a fake world.
Boom.
Episode 120. Gosh, dude.
120.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's like 30 months worth of episodes.
Oh, yeah. It's a long time.
That's good. So being real in a fake world, Ollie, I know you love a good definition. So I took the time to look it up today, and the definition of real, according to one of the online dictionaries, is true, existing, and actual.
Ooh.
True, existing, and actual.
True, existing, and actual.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you think
Interesting.
of somebody that's real, what comes to mind to you?
So when I think of someone that's real, the first word that comes to mind is authentic or authenticity. And that's someone who really speaks their mind, speaks their opinion in an honest and respectful way. Someone who doesn't, I think of no filter, honestly, of someone who's just being authentic, even though it may go against what the general public has to say or may go against the opinions of what's popular in the media, but someone who is just really true in what they value and what they believe, and they're willing to share that.
Why is it like I hear people all the time say like, oh, he's being real or whatever, and it's almost like we have this idea that if you're real, you have to hurt people's feelings, right? Like somebody that's real is usually, at least in my perception right now, like aggressive, like kind of in your face, opposite of what everybody else is saying. And, like what first comes to mind is like Goggins. Like Goggins is extremely real, but he's not going to be for everybody, right? And like some people will watch and be like, oh, I can't listen to this guy, listen to what he's saying. And they can never get past the presentation to the message.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes being real, whereas like maybe certain people be like, oh, I love it because it's authentic. Other people would be like, I don't like it because it challenges my beliefs, or it offends me because of the manner it's delivered. Right? So how do you know if you're being real?
I think an easy way to know if you're being real is kind of this internal checking in of knowing that you're coming from an authentic place. You're speaking with an open heart and open mind without holding yourself back from fear of judgment or fear of saying the wrong thing. You're typically going to be more real and authentic when you can be vulnerable and open to criticism, and not messing with what you're going to say, and not trying to be diplomatic or frame it in a certain way for your audience. You're just being true, and I think that sometimes in order to do that, a lot of us, myself included, feel that we have to speak it almost in an aggressive way, right? Of like, well, this is what I believe. But there are a lot of people out there who can be very true and authentic and genuine and real without having to speak in an authentic way. Like my man Sadhguru, he's a yogi, mystic type of dude. And there are sometimes he's a little spicy, but most of the time he speaks in a very calm tone, and some stuff that he says will just land with you, and you're like, whoa, that's real right there. Um, so that's what I think. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting. A couple things you said, I think, really permeate in today's culture, and that's that a lot of times people that think they're real confuse being real with being loud, because there's so much communication going that sometimes, unless you're loud, you don't get heard, right? It's like the kid in class, when the class is making noise, you know, the teacher has to scream at the top of their lungs to get attention. Why? Because she's the loudest or he's the loudest. So I think sometimes we confuse being loud with being real. Just because you get on whatever platforms you use or whatever conversations you're in, you're the loudest person, doesn't necessarily mean you're the realest person. And I think the other thing you said that was really important for our community to hear is when you are communicating, looking for a certain reaction in the people that listen to you, that's dangerous, because a lot of times you're not going to be communicating truthfully or honestly, because what I'm telling you is designed to get you to react a certain way. When, for me, I know I'm speaking truthfully and from my realist position, when I don't really care how you react, but I know this is what I believe, or this is why I believe what I believe, or why we're doing what we're doing. Right. And if I'm true to myself and I'm in the right audience, you're going to get a reaction that you want. Maybe the reaction is they think. Maybe the reaction is they disagree with you. But I think that was a key point you said. Too many times people communicate trying to get a different reaction from the person they're talking to or talking with, which then is easy to not be honest with yourself. And you leave those conversations not feeling your best, right? Like, to me, what I always go back to is this kind of like a used car salesman, right? They know a lot of times the stuff they're telling you to get you to buy this car isn't real. It's not truthful, but the conversation is designed to get you to buy. And then other times you'll go to a car lot and you'll get a different car salesman that's very honest and open about things, and it just feels completely different. But, I mean, both can get the same result, right? Both can sell you something. So I think sometimes we focus too much on trying to influence somebody else when we speak, that maybe we cloud what's real for us, what's our truth. You know, and that's, you know, look at social media. That's a fantastic example, right? We'll, you know, put pictures up there that, you know, like one that always comes to me is like, you know, Instagram. I was doing this little class on that not too long ago, and they were talking about like shirtless guys and bathing suit girls, no matter what the content is, will always have like a XX initial view versus anything else because of the format. So then you see like people that are really smart and really articulate, but all they ever post is swimsuit pictures, because they're just trying to, they're worried about getting people to pay attention, not necessarily their message, you know? So that's kind of what I think, man, is like when we communicate and we're so worried about what everybody else is thinking or taking from it that we don't speak our true position, you're not being real with yourself.